Welcome to All For You Stories, where we want you to think different so you act different. Let's go. Broken promises. I did a bad thing. I knew it was bad before I did it, and I knew it was bad while I did it, and I know it's bad now. But sometimes knowing's not good enough. It's about what you do with what you know. And all I really know for sure is that I did a really bad thing. My public defender did not even ask me what happened. He came in the room, shuffled through some papers, took a sip of coffee, glanced up at me, and determined my guilt. I wanted to be mad at him, that he could just look at me and assume the worst. I wanted to call him a racist who had no business doing the work he did, but I couldn't be mad. I am a guilty man, and race has nothing to do with it. How could I get mad at him for seeing the truth? Everyone in the courtroom seemed preoccupied with other things. The bailiffs talked to the lady who should have been typing. The other lawyer flirted with a woman behind him. My lawyer shuffled through his briefcase. Even the judge checked his phone before calling up my lawyer. Eventually, my lawyer got to the judge, and I wondered if he told the judge that I did it. I told my lawyer I didn't do it, but he didn't believe me. He barely said 10 words to me, and 4 of those words were, "They have a video." My mother has always told me at times like this I should go to God. But how could I go to God again? I've gone to him before and then turned around and did the same thing. How can I go to him again? Even if I say I won't do it again, he'll know I don't mean it. Even if I do mean it, it don't matter. No matter what, I always find myself doing the same things, whether I want to or not. The judge finally took his attention away from his phone and looked at me. His furry eyebrows squeezed together, and his eyes turned to fire. I know he saw my record, and I want to explain myself. There were some things I could not explain, but the stolen car and the stolen plasma televisions, those weren't my fault. I wish I could explain, but it didn't matter. All of the past mistakes I made were laid out in front of him like a buffet, and he would not overlook them. He would punish me, and there was nothing I could do about it. I've been in jail before, but the way he looked at me told me this would be different. He was going to stretch me. I knew the point would eventually come where they would want to hear from me, to give me a chance to explain my side of the story. What should I do then? Should I make up a lie or tell the truth? Making up a lie would be easy. Change a few names and times, and the lie would sound as good as the truth. But I'm tired of lying. I don't even know the truth anymore, really. Surprising, the idea of praying came to me. The last time I prayed was a couple of years ago when I thought I had 3 girls pregnant at the same time. I asked God to get me out of it, and I promised I would do right from then on. Well, he got me out of it, but I didn't keep my promise. I did at first, but after about a week, I went back to my same old ways. No matter what, it seemed like I just can't do right. I want to, but I can't. I wish I could blame something else, but if I keep it real, it's just the way I am. The judge looked through some papers and then looked at me again. The look in his eyes seemed calculating, like he was devising a punishment perfectly to suit me. Like one of them old school punishment where they put needles under your fingernails. I have to say, it terrified me. And I had no choice but to do what I did not deserve to do. Even though I felt ashamed and hypocritical, I asked God to help me again. I also promised that once again, if he got me out of this, I would change. And this time I meant it. This time I would change. Unfortunately, I don't think God believed me. The look on the judge's face got even more upset, and he examined papers and talked to the lawyers. My lawyer said something, and the judge snapped at him. The other lawyer even got involved, and before long, the judge lectured both of them. After a few moments, both attorneys' heads lowered and looked like children being scolded by the principal. He sent them both back to their seats, and neither of them looked up. The expression on my lawyer's face did not change until he got back to his seat. Surprisingly, he smiled like he had just accomplished something. At first, this upset me so much I almost hit him. How could he be happy when I was about to get punished medieval style? Seeing my lawyer smile as I was about to get the book thrown at me became hard to contain. I started to move to confront him when the judge spoke. I heard frustration mixed with anger in his voice as he lectured the courtroom about the flaws in the judicial system and how things need to change. I did not understand most of what he said until he took a deep breath and sighed. This is why it pains me so much that something so small can allow this man to go free. Everyone in the courtroom gasped except me. I felt just as shocked as everyone else, but something would not allow me to celebrate. Instead, I wondered if I just made a promise I could not keep. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, share with someone else, follow us on TikTok, and do what needs to be done. Peace.